Hi, Sonia. Welcome.
Hi, Reid.
I'm asking everybody about their own spiritual practices, like what you do now compared to what you used to do, how it's helped you in your life during times of good, bad, and advice you can give others about a spiritual practice.
Well, I actually am very disciplined in my spiritual practice because I have learned as I've aged that if I don't feed my insides, the world around me can become very overwhelming and push me around. But I also am busy and I have a lot of responsibilities, so I've created a spiritual practice that's short and I do it every day. What I do is called sourcing. And sourcing is something that I do every morning where I just take a moment and draw my source of energy from my higher self, from my divine nature. And I take a moment to let that feed me and fill me up from the inside so I meet the world from the place of my best and most authentic self. The practice itself is to just sit with in a chair, your feet. I usually sit in my chair and I rub my hands together because the hands have chakras in them. The hands are connected to the heart. And when you rub your hands together, you begin to activate the heart energy, which I really believe is our first and most important intelligence. It's where my higher self comes in. So I rub my hands together, then I kind of shake them out to just get the energy flowing. And if you put your hands together like this, after you do that, you can actually feel a frequency going back and forth. And then what I do is I close my eyes and I put my hands up in a receiving mode because the mind is not necessarily a good receiver. The heart is the receiver. And I just first sit and I allow myself to be nurtured and fed, energized, inspired by my own divine nature. So it's a listening practice. I'm just sitting and receiving and listening and expanding myself from the inside. And I'll play with my hands a little bit because I can feel the energy growing. And I'll sit and hold this frequency and I'll breathe. And if there's anything I feel I have to work on, any project challenge, personal challenge, because just because I am a spiritual teacher doesn't mean I don't have personal challenges. If anything, I'd probably say I have a lot of personal challenges. I just sit and receive, and there's a moment where I feel, okay, it's like filling up a cup of coffee in the morning and kind of fill myself up with my spirit. And then I rub my hands together again. I place them over my eyes, kind of tap on my third eye to activate my inner vision, my inner imagination, my inner availability. And then I slowly open my eyes behind closed fingers and I bring my eyes to my lap, place my hands on my lap and I breathe. And I just breathe in through the nose and set my intention for the day. And then I bring my eyes to eye level and kind of anchor in where I am in present time so that I know I'm fully available to this day, this moment, and breathe. Look up above and just remember that I'm never alone. And I have a lot of support and to be available and to remember to ask. And I breathe and then I'm ready to go.
Fantastic.
It's really good. It works.
And has that practice changed over time, or has it been pretty much what you've been doing for most of? Well,
When I was younger, I would, and I still do this, I do always start my day with, when I first open my eyes, I say the Our Father prayer because it aligns with the chakras, and I was taught in the mystery schools how to say that, and it just opens me up for that receiving, and I'm grateful. But when I was younger, I would do a lot of, please help me this, please help me that, please help me this. And I was more kind of grabbing, come and help me. And as I've matured and had more experience, I've relaxed about that. And I realized that I'm not disconnected. It doesn't have to be kind of a emergency mode or extra prayers. Just I've learned that it's really not about the universe or God, or it's about me being receptive and available. So my practice has gotten quieter, calmer, but I feel it. I mean, I feel filled up, and I feel that energy that flows through me. I can work, I can help, I can guide other people with this bigger force in my personality. And so I'd say that's the biggest shift, is just quieting down, continuing to quiet down my own ego, my own ambitions, my own good intentions, and be in a more receptive flow.